Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks to the witnesses for joining us today. Complicated issue. It seems, in listening to you and from the work that I've done in my life, it seems like we got a situation where our freedom is being used against us. We allow Chinese students to study in our universities many times, not many times, but sometimes, to our detriment, stealing intellectual property, our ideas, outright espionage. Anytime a small business sells into the Chinese market, I don't know how many times I've talked to a small business, said, look, I was selling it. Next thing I know, they're selling it. They stole my IP. I have no recourse in their courts. We have recourse they have recourse, though, in our courts. We treat them, we give their businesses the same protections we give our businesses, but yet that's not reciprocated. Not to mention, some of their advances clearly have also come from stealing technologies in other nations, from other innovations that go there. And I know in talking to small businesses since the tariff issue has come up, that they say, well, a lot of times they say, well, I don't necessarily like them. However, how in the world, it's about time somebody stands up and protects me from what's going on when I try to sell into China and what they sell into our country and other countries. I'll ask each of you to comment on that. What recommendations would you make to the Trump administration as they're looking at the issue of trade with China, and how can we use our trade relationship or the bilateral conversations that are happening to address some of the issues you've discussed today? Dr. Hannes, you can start with you and go down the line.
Again, my apologies, I'm not good at solutions, but there is one point that needs to be brought up that is germane, I think, to your question, and we didn't touch on it enough before. This is not solely a U.S. problem. You know, China does not discriminate among the countries that it exploits. Our book on Chinese industrial espionage, was translated into 2 languages, guess which 2? Japanese and Korean, because they're suffering the same problems we are. So one of the things we can do is ally ourselves with our allies who are suffering from the same depredations and come up with a common front against the problem. That would be my major recommendation.
Okay, thank you.
A fantastic entrepreneurial culture, but the scale-up part of our innovation system, infrastructure has eroded over a number of years. We need to rebuild that so that we are the ones who are first and foremost absorbing the IP that's coming out of our research universities faster than anybody else in the world.
What do you think the barriers are to that? Because we have a lot of capital in this country. What is the barrier? Why aren't we scaling it up?
Well, it's a sort of more time I can come back and
brief
you in detail. But we have basically hollowed out our manufacturing sector. So as a result, our ecosystem is incomplete. The Chinese have large state-owned enterprises. They have deep pockets. They're able to take ideas and scale them up. And we don't have, we are kind of weak in that area. So what we need to do is actually rebuild our innovation system so that it's the most competitive in the world. Go back to when it was.
It's very capital intensive.
It's very capital intensive. It requires a lot of coordination across. It requires a strong, it's a multifaceted innovation system. It has, worker training aspects to it. It has, capital markets aspect to it. It has research and development aspects to it. All of these parts of the innovation system have to all work together independently as well as connect with each other. In fact, one of the advantages of the SBIR program is actually it takes ideas that may be formed at a university lab, but the venture capitalist doesn't know whether it's a great idea. And so by creating a two-phase validation of the commercial potential and the technological potential of the technology, it basically flags to venture capitalists, our deep capital markets, that this is an idea that you need to invest in. That helps to bring the technology pathway across.
Well, our financial system's like sure bets, not speculative.
Well, the financial system, it's a market, and like any market, it works well when there's more information, and this is what SBIR does.
Give a chance for our last guest.
I'll be sure. On the trade front, we need to stop assuming that China is going to play by the rules or will ever compromise. and we should levy significantly higher tariffs on China. We should encourage our allies and partners to do the same, but with a coherent message that says that the international free trade system works. We should all be part of it, but not let China abuse it. And then we should accept that a message to the American people that all of this will come at a cost in the short term, but that cost is far more palatable than the long-term cost of not defending against China's manipulation.
So thank you. And Madam Chair, the three things, that I heard from the answer: work with our partners, Japan, Korea, others who are experiencing the same problem, help Made in America work by reestablishing our manufacturing base in this country, and use tariffs against China as a tool to help get this accomplished. Thank you very much.